Hello, and thank you for taking a closer look at TURBO-Lease. TURBO-Lease begins its functionality assuming you have a signed lease contract and you are at the point of servicing. The system is designed to bill and collect an equipment lease from the lessor's perspective. The system can be installed in a traditional client-server environment or hosted in the cloud. Upon entering your password, you are shown a listing of all of your lease contracts. Know that TURBO-Lease supports both an operating style lease and a capital style lease under ASC 842. You can click on any of the leases in your portfolio, and there are tabs across the top that will give you further detail about the contract. I will show you more on these tabs in a moment. On the left-hand side, there are buttons for major functionality area of the system. I will come back to these as well. Returning to the lease we have highlighted, let's look at some of the tabs. First, there's the Edit Lease tab. This is also known as the contract entry screen. This is the single screen you use to define the contract with the lessee. Across the top is the customer's contact information. Then we have the start dates of the contract, the term, the description of the equipment, the amount financed, and the lease receivable. If you're offering an operating style lease, notice we track depreciation. If you're operating a capital style lease, notice that the system will calculate an implicit rate and then earn the income component over the term. The next tab is the payment schedule. This payment schedule is used for billing and for accounting. Billing frequencies include weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, annual, skips, and seasonals. Next is the Payments Due tab. This tab shows the payments due on the contract. As the customer makes payments, these payments will drop off this screen and become an item on the Payment History tab. This is simply a history of payments made. Next is the Comments tab. This is the Customer Service Notes area, where you can make a note on a customer's account and schedule a follow-up. Next, we have the Attachments tab. This tab is used to organize your lease documents. You can attach any document to TURBO-Lease, no matter its format. If I highlight the lease contract, I click View, and the system will natively launch that document. This will help you stay very organized when it comes to your lease documents. Moving now to the left-hand side of the system, we have the Payments area. This area of the system is where you would manually record any payments received from your customer. You would use this screen to record a payment. If you own the ACH module or are integrated with OmniFund, our payment partner, know that payments are recorded automatically. Next, we have the Customers area. This is simply a list of all of your customers. Of course, you could have many leases with a customer. Next, we have the Tax Codes area. This is where you define and maintain the jurisdictions you're responsible to. TURBO-Lease can add a sales tax portion to a payment, and then as you collect payments, TURBO-Lease will report to you the tax due by jurisdiction. Next, we get to the reporting area of TURBO-Lease. Note that there are 80 or so reports built into the system. We also offer custom report writing for an hourly rate. To touch on some highlights of reports, if you're doing a capital style lease, know that we have an income amortization to amortize the unearned income component. If you're offering an operating lease, know that we have a rental receivable report and a depreciation report. Let's run the receivable report. When you create a report, it comes to screen in TURBO-Lease. You can send the report to many different locations, including Excel and PDF. Up to 5 reports can be opened at one time. Other reports of note are the Trial Balances tab. From an accounting perspective, TURBO-Lease offers trial balance reports. A trial balance report has a beginning balance, current period activity, and an ending balance. These reports are intended to be used as a basis for entries into your general ledger. Moving on to the billing area, TURBO-Lease offers many options for billing. First, you can produce a paper invoice or an emailed invoice, a statement, a coupon book. TURBO-Lease offers ACH processing, the ability to create the Notcha standard ACH file and provide it to your bank for processing. TURBO-Lease is also integrated with OmniFund. OmniFund is payments as a platform and the ability to reoccur a payment against your customer's credit card or bank account. Next, we get to collections. This is where in the system you would track any delinquency for your customers. The delinquency report is available and provides standard aging of payments that have been missed. Next, we get to the notes area. This is part of the notes payable module. This is the ability to set up the debt side of a lease, where if you have external investors or funding sources like banks, you can set up the principal and interest payback of that debt. Notice you can indicate the bank name or investor name. You'll have a start date, a principal, a payable. TURBO-Lease will build a payment schedule, which is your debt payback, and also calculate a rate. Reporting is provided for principal and interest balances. Next, we have the Assets button. Optionally, you can define all the assets in your portfolio that are assigned or not assigned to a lease. It is assumed that if an asset is not assigned to a lease, it's an inventory. You have a very basic asset tracking feature available here. Finally, know that TURBO-Lease can produce extracts to the commercial credit bureaus of Dun & Bradstreet and PayNet, and through a partner of DataLinks, we can extract to the personal credit bureaus. Thank you for taking the time to take a closer look at TURBO-Lease. If you're interested in the product, please request a demo, and a sales associate will arrange a demo with your company.